Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Witty's Gear Review. Today we're going to be reviewing a super tiny rechargeable flashlight. This is the Boruit EV10. And you can tell it's a small little rectangular flashlight. So I've been testing this thing out for a couple of weeks now. Actually, to the point that I liked it, so I bought another one for a couple of different bags that that I've got, and it just made a good, small, everyday, quick, easy access. If you're not carrying, in a lot of my kits, I'm limited for space, and I love headlamps, but headlamps take up a lot of room. They're thicker, you have the strap, everything like that. This can be a headlamp. If you're like me, I wear a ball cap. If you don't wear a ball cap, then, a headlamp is still your best option. But for me, this works fine. Because I can move my hat up and down, kind of to get the light where I need it. It does have a spotlight mode where it does a whole larger section, right? But on this light, what I do like is, it's got the RGB on the side there, the LEDs on the front, I guess you would say. And this light, as it states down below, it's 1100 lumens. So that being said, if you look at this thing, total overall, this thing is 2 5/8 inches from bottom to top, 2 5/8. And across the side wide, you're looking at 1 3/8. And then deep, including the clip, so from the outside all the way to the edge of the clip, is 3/4 of an inch. So it's light, compact. And when I say it's light, guys, let's look at it on our little trusty scale here. We'll look at it first, ounces. Make sure we're zeroed. Weighs 2.3 ounces. So that's pretty lightweight. And then we'll swap over to grams. And we're weighing at 64 grams. So it's a fairly light light. Fairly light light. That's redundant. But this is a redundant light in my bag, so I guess it fits. Now, some of the quick features. Is if you long press this light, that's just your battery indicator. When it shows up that green, it's going to show up in a scale. So from bottom to top, you can tell that I have already charged it. It was fully charged, so it shows a green bar all the way up. That's just a quick reference. But you have your single light there. That's your bright, medium, low. Press it again. That's your turbo mode. And then long press and it goes off. So long press shows your battery life. Single light. That automatically puts you in the turbo mode, double clicking it. And then long press and you're off. Click it 3 times when you're in your standard mode and you'll go into your flash. And then long press and you're off. So your side mode here turns on your beacon light or your LED, your RGB light. Press it again. It goes to from high to low. High, low. If you double press in this mode, you'll go to your red light and then single click, green, blue, orange, yellow, light blue, purple, back to red. If you double click it again, it'll go into a strobe mode. Single click, and then you could strobe in all three or all the colors, depending on what you want. So it's a good beacon if you have it on your backpack, but this is just a slow strobe. If you double press it again, you'll get into this strobe or this feature. Single press will change the colors depending on what you want. Double press, it'll pull you into another mode. And you have this more of a running LED. Single press, whatever color you want. Double press, it'll pull you into another mode where you have this rainbow effect. Single press on that just speeds it up. It doesn't really change the colors. And so you have the slow waterfall and then the faster waterfall. Double press again, you get back to your main light. So, pretty cool little light. There's one more function. Is your emergency lights, your popo lights. So, you know, this little light is packed with a bunch of features. And it's simple to use. It's either this controls your top light, this controls your RGB lights. And, you know, this thing's great for, like, putting it on the front strap of a backpack as a beacon light. You know, if you're in a big group and everybody's staying together and you kind of want to see where people are, it's a good little function. And then if you have a sling bag and you just want to put it on the molly of the sling bag, just mounts like so. And then if you wanted to go to like a beacon mode, like so. And you could kind of see that, right? If you were traveling with a group of people or whatever. Just some way to distinguish all, or you could just keep it on, you know, a light mode or a single color waterfall, the multicolor waterfall, and then back to your standard light. If you just want a white light to see, or if you wanted to have a single color and then rotate through all your colors depending on what your group decides, what you want, whatever. I just think it's a great little light. Then in a bind, you pop it off, long press, double press, you're in your full high mode or your turbo mode. So like I said, I'm pretty impressed with the little light. Impressed enough that I bought another one. These things were on AliExpress, and they were $14.32. In my mind, for it being solid aluminum, other than the buttons, it is magnetic on the base. So you do have a magnet, and it's a fairly strong magnet for the base. You do have a place for a lanyard through the side there, the two holes, so you can put a lanyard on there. And then it comes with a charger. So it's got your regular C-type charger that fits on the back. This is a IP64 rated, so you're gonna have, you know, a bit of water resistance. And I just think, you know, that it's got 1,000 milliamp battery. Let's go over some tech specs on this thing. kind of describing, you know, I'm sure everybody wants to know how long it'll stay lit, so on and so forth. So you're looking at, if you're in the turbo mode on the brightest settings, which is 1100 lumens, you got 2 hours of light, which is pretty good. You know, some headlamps, you got to watch them in the turbo mode. It won't even show you how long it'll stay in turbo mode because the batteries in those things are small and it's usually like under 30 seconds. Why would you brag about a light that's 1100 lumens if you can only use 1100 lumens for 30 seconds? You know, so this one in the high mode, you're looking at 2 hours. In the floodlight mode, you're looking at 3 hours of run time at 550 lumens. In the spotlight mode, you're looking at 550 lumens for 3 hours on high, and the medium mode, you're looking at 5.8 hours. So quite a bit. If you're in the low spotlight, you're looking at 54 hours of run time. So that's not bad at all, guys. I mean, you know, you're gonna, this light will last you a while. If you have a small cell phone charger, just a little power bank, you could charge this light up, and, you know, I mean, with the hours, if you're using it consistently for on high for 2 hours, yeah, you're gonna have to charge it. But 550 lumens is still pretty bright, and you could be in that mode for, if you're on high, for 3 hours. And then, you know, of course, varying to what you need it. I mean, if you have your light on for 5.8 hours continuous, you know, you're hiking, you're lost. But this isn't your main light, right? This is a backup light. It can be a main light in an everyday carry, definitely. But make sure you know the limitations of what mode you're in. If it's dark outside, and you're in the low flood, which is 10 lumens, you got 50 hours of light. So if you could use this just enough to see down a trailhead at, you know, 10 lumens, just enough to light up a small little area, you got 54 hours there. But guys, if you haven't seen one of these, or you are not sure about these lights, the Boruit company, man, I've seen a lot of reviews on these things. This thing, you know, on most platforms that I could find, has a 5-star rating. And I just think the construction's really it's made really well. I mean, just, there's, you know, not anything that sticks out to me. It's a dog hair. But there's not anything that sticks out to me that, you know, hey, this is shoddy craftsmanship. I mean, it's a nice little light for the money. And anybody that's out there, you know, looking for something at a bargain, but they want something that's still decent, I think this is a light for you. I like it. I've got several other lights. I've got the Woobins. I've got some, you know, Surefire lights, O-lights. I've got a bunch of different lights, and really, I like the features that are crammed into this small rectangle design. It looks a lot like the small little Phoenix, which the small Phoenix light's a great little light. I think overall it's 500 lumens, and that light is $30, and it has no RGB. And they're both considered what they call keychain lights. I mean, you could put this on a keychain. I wouldn't, personally. I would get one of them small little 100 lumen O lights, or True Gear lights. They're great. Or there's a bunch of different, you know, keychain small lights, right? This is 1100 lumens. This is a good backup light. It's a good shoulder strap light. Great all-in-all light altogether. I'm impressed, guys. I think it's worth $14.32 of your money to give one a shot and see what you think. Anyways, guys, like always, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, check all those notifications. Tell some people about us. We're still growing, like always, and we try to give back. We're trying to do this so people know, hey, if you see this brand, you see the particular light, you were kind of curious, but you didn't know for sure what you were going to get. That's why I bought it. That's why I previewed it, so you know. That's the box. Basically, you get your Type-C charging cable to USB. You get a small little key ring attachment, so if you want to put it on your key ring. And you get your EDC flashlight. You get your little lanyard. And of course, you're pretty detailed in English. I don't know if you can see, that's all the specs I was reading. Shows you how to use all the different functions. And it's fairly simple. Anyways, guys, till the next one. Like always, love y'all. See you soon.